Texas A&M moving on yet again in the NCAA tournament. Second round after a 1-0 win at TCU. Never gets old saying that, huh? Moving on in the NCAA tournament.
No, it doesn't. And it wasn't until I saw the report after the game that it's our 19th year in a row to move on to the second round, and that only 3 teams nationally, I guess, have done that. That's ourselves, North Carolina, and Virginia. So it's pretty good company to be in, and especially since there were a lot of doubters on if we even belonged in the NCAA tournament this year. But I think we proved the NCAA committee to be wise, and that it was a good choice to put the Aggies in. And for us to be able to stay in Texas for that first game and go up to Fort Worth to play TCU was fantastic, and it was a great crowd. I think it might have been a record crowd for TCU. It was half Aggies, half TCU, which was really cool. And I just feel really, really blessed that we had the opportunity, because these players have really fought through so many tough things this year. The injuries, the inconsistency of who is in our lineup and who can train, and not being able to practice the team that we're going to have that particular week. So it's been a real trial, but these kids have come through. I'm obviously very pleased with how my staff has handled all this, because it has been challenging and it has been unpredictable.
You talked last week when we visited with you about how you don't quite know what's going to happen. Are you going to get in? Are you not going to get in? You're probably thinking, it might be kind of tough. We'll see. We're not sure. You get in. You mentioned that the team had this incredibly renewed sense of energy and excitement, understandably, when they got in. I'm guessing you saw that carry over to the field on Saturday night with the win over TCU.
We did. I mean, look at we scored in the 7th minute. I mean, we came out, against a team that TCU was in their first ever NCAA game. Tons of energy. Again, biggest crowd they've ever played in front of. We knew that they were going to have a lot of energy, and that they would, even if and when we scored, that they were going to come back at us pretty strong, which they did. But like I said, it's been a renewed sense of excitement for the team. We hadn't been. I mean, we're always excited to be in the NCAA tournament. Don't get me wrong. But But this was one where it was like, yeah, okay. I mean, real fist pumping jubilation of getting in. And we've talked to the players a lot that the analogies that you have of playing with house money, because no one thought that we were going to be there, so we're only winning. That has loosened up the team quite a bit. And then the other part of it being, we've been in a situation for the last month and a half where we had to win. I mean, it was win or your season is probably over. So the pressure of playing in those types of games becomes routine. That's just the way that we are. So our players were, it was a very physical game on Saturday night. It wasn't dirty. It was just two teams really going hard. And again, our players have had to play that way, like they're dying. We talked about living like you're dying, and that's how our players have been going through. And again, it's one of the things I'm really, really proud of. We've had some challenges. We're not, we've been limited in the things that we can do compared to things that we've been able to do in the past. But the fight of the players has been really good. Now, you put it into the context of what we're about to see in Los Angeles on Friday, and everything gets ramped up. I mean, we've played great teams. We've played number 1 seeds. We've played top ranked teams in the country, but USC poses some really interesting and really difficult challenges. They have a good swagger to the way that they play. They have a lot of great senior players in key places that have been making significant contributions, and they're playing at their place. It's an afternoon game, which is a little bit funky because they don't have lights at their facility, and it's a on-campus site, but it'll be a little bit different than what we've been accustomed to in the past. But again, we're playing with house money. We're going to LA. We're not going to Connecticut. We're not going someplace cold and blustery or wet. We're going to go to a place that is very comfortable for our players, and a place where we have a lot of players from. I know, Steph Mallory's from Southern California. Harriman's from Southern California. I know that a lot of our Southern California alumni will be back. Madison Closestead will be back. Allie Bailey will be back. All these players who have represented us, they're excited that we're coming out. I know that the Southern California A&M club has posted. We'll have a lot of people. I went out and spoke at their muster last year, so it's kind of a fun thing. It's definitely a fun thing. It's a cool thing that we get to go to this place. Now we are a big underdog in this particular game, but I don't really think that that's going to have an effect on our players, other than USC is just a really good team.
Yeah, 3:30 on Friday, 3:30 local time here in College Station. You can listen to it on Willie 1550. You can listen as well at 12man.com/all-access and inside the Texas A&M Athletics app. And we believe it is going to be televised on Pac-12 networks. Going to have to find that. I'm a DirecTV snob, so I don't get
Right,
Pac-12
well,
network. But
I'm a Suddenlink guy,
yeah.
so it's in the 400s. The way the Pac-12 network quote is it's all these regional networks. I think they're all Fox networks at one point. So there's like Pac-12 Arizona, Pac-12 LA, which is what I would imagine this would be on. There's Pac-12 Mountain, which the other game in this regional will be Utah against Florida State. That game will start at 1 o'clock Central Time. So those games will probably be on as well. And obviously for us, the more support, the more positive thoughts, the more prayers we can have for these girls and what they represent would be much, much appreciated.
Question: when you're scouting an opponent like USC, you probably keep up with them over the course of the season because they're ranked so high. But it's kind of funny with a team out west like that. You have quite a few common opponents with I believe, UCLA, and then also I believe they played Missouri and Auburn at least, if not somebody other than that. Does that benefit? Does it matter one way or the other? Do you kind of look at some common results?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
the most common and the most relevant is both of us lost to UCLA 1-0, and in both cases they were upsets. Based on the polls and where we were, I think ranked number 11 when we lost at home 1-0 to UCLA, and SC was ranked number 5 when they lost at home or at a neutral site for the Battle of LA. So that's a game that has some common things, but that's a derby match. That's a rivalry game. You can kind of throw out a lot of the rankings anyway. So it's helpful that things are on TV now. The good news about us being on the SEC network and you can watch our games through our home games through the Watch ESPN app is we're out there. Anyone's able to get our games and they do.
Yeah.
The good news for us though is we've had to play in so many different lineups and so many different shapes and formations. Good luck to anyone who's going to figure out what we're actually doing, because so many of those games are not relevant to who we are right now.
Exactly. Well, best of luck this weekend. Hopefully a couple of wins, and we'll talk to you next week. Again, if the Aggies beat USC, they're going to advance and play Sunday afternoon. I believe it's 2 o'clock Central Time against either Utah or Florida State, but first things first, Women of Troy. Again, Willie 1550 has the broadcast. 12man.com/all-access has the broadcast, as well as the Texas A&M Athletics app. Pac-12 Networks has the televised version of it. Best of luck, and I'm sure you guys will eat well while you're out there. I'm sure you've done some advanced scouting.
Well, the guy who works with us a lot with our mental skills and stuff, Alan Hopkins, is an LA-based guy. He's excited, so he's got
he's got it lined
He's
up.
got it all lined up. He's got Kurt Magnuson pointing in the right direction. So Kurt usually doesn't need anyone to point him in the right direction, but Alan is going to be a good local host. And a lot of our families, the Schmitz and the Hummels, are hosting a big tailgate before the game. They're both Orange County families, so they'll be out there as well.
All right. Well, best of luck and have a lot of fun out there.
Thank you.